Zachary picked up by Clevenger as he crosses the timeline. Zachary dribbling to his left, trying to make something happen here at the top of the key. He finds John Anthony Hall. Back over to Zachary here on the right wing. Zachary, a little quick jab with his right foot, stolen by Clevenger. Clevenger looking up the court, stolen right back by Zachary. Zachary rolls off a tough screen by Breland, the leading scorer of this Fishers Tigers team, over to Metzger. Back up to the top of the key is Zachary. Back over is Hall on the left wing, guarded closely by the sophomore Ben Bremer. Back into this left corner, it's Taden Metzger. Metzger looking for a rolling Keenan Gardner. Gardner swings it over to Hall. Hall up and under. Be a foul on the floor against the Greyhounds. Be against Aiden Dickerson, the freshman. So 6 minutes and 49 seconds left to go in this first quarter. 0-0 is the score.
And nerves seem to be a little bit high now for both teams to start this one out. Going to be interesting to see who can calm down first and get things going offensively.
Clevenger gets a steal for the Greyhounds. He crosses the timeline, going right at the freshman Cooper Zachary. Bremer trying to find something here. Kicks it out on the right wing to Evan Harrell, the sophomore for the Greyhounds. Back out to Bremer at the top of the key. Bremer guarded closely by Hall. Bremer goes to his left. Swings it over to Aiden Dickerson on the right wing. Back out to Bremer on the left wing. Down to Harrell on the left block. Harrell working on Garner. His floater no good, rebounded by Garner of the Fishers Tigers, and he pushes the tempo. It's Hall down at the other end of the court. Fouled by Ben Bremer. It'll be a blocking foul. Greyhound's second foul of the quarter on the ground.
And both teams offensively just struggling to find an open look. Both defenses being very engaged, communicating, and great defense here early on for both squads.
Garner gets the ball into Hall. Back out to Zachary. Zachary at the top of the key. Swings it over to McCartney. McCartney, pound dribble back to Metzger. Metzger, a deep three. Does not fall. Rebounded by the Tigers. Up and under is Keenan Gardner, the leading scorer of this team. 2-0 is the score here early goings of this game. Ryan Clevenger looks like he'll be duking it out with Cooper Zachary all night. Swings it over to Bremer on the left wing for the Greyhounds. Kudo comes off a tight screen. Bremer gets rejected. Back up the court goes Zachary. Zachary swings it over to Garner. Garner back to Zachary. Zachary dribbles into the left corner. Swings it back up to the top of the key to Garner. Garner back to Metzger. Swings it back over to Hall at the top of the key, guarded closely by Bremer. Back out to Zachary. Zachary guarded by Clevenger here at the volleyball line. Picked up. Now it'll be placed in the hands of Taden Metzger, guarded closely by Alex Kudo, the leading point scorer for the Greyhounds. Cooper Zachary trying to make something happen here. His ball almost turned over. Taden Metzger trying to set something up here, the senior shooting guard. Kicks it over to Zachary in the corner, guarded closely by Bremer. Zachary up and under, he is fouled. Call will go against Bremer. That's his second personal foul. Third foul going against the Greyhounds this quarter.
And Bremer picking up his second foul early here with 4:50 remaining in the first. It'll be interesting as he comes out of the game for Murphy how Coach Ryan Osborne and the Hounds manage that situation.
Zachary to inbound for the Tigers. Zachary, another errant pass stolen by Kudo. Kudo, his shot is blocked. Possession going to the Greyhounds. What a block by Keenan Gardner, the chase down block against Alex Kudo. Look, it was very close to being a goaltend, but it is called a block. And the Greyhounds will have to inbound it under their own basket.
And you're exactly right. It was very close to being a goaltend. Kudo asking the referee about the call as it was very close. May have been a goaltend, but it's going to be called a block.
Kudo, a spot-up three-point shot, does not fall. Rebounded by the Tigers and John Anthony Hall. John Anthony Hall pushing the tempo. Charge! The Greyhounds get the tempo back. The Greyhounds control the possession.
Indiana and Ohio State. Welcome to the WIUX studio, everyone. Ian Plaskoff with you here, and I'm joined by Brooks White at Ohio Stadium. And Brooks, how is the atmosphere out there? This is, like you said, a top 5 atmosphere earlier as we were talking, but just take us through what's going on.
Well, Ohio State is a blue blood of college football. They are no stranger to the top 5 matchup. However, on the other end of the field, for the Indiana Hoosiers, this is unfamiliar territory, and this is the territory that head coach Curt Cignetti wants to be in. Here in the Horseshoe, you can tell it's a top 5 matchup. The Ohio State fans have traveled well. The IU fans have traveled well. It should be shaping up to be an incredible matchup here, not only for the Big Ten Conference, as this game plays many, many different roles in the future of the Big Ten Conference, but also for both of these teams in their college football playoff future. This game is crucial to the landscape of college football.
Now, Brooks, there are 110,000 seats around there in this stadium. What would you say is the turnout from Indiana fans in Columbus today?
There are a lot of Hoosiers in the lower bowl. While we were on the ground, not only with Austin and Zach, people will be on the call very soon here on WIUX, but also with many other members of IU Sports Media, we saw a lot of Hoosier fans who are very loud and very vocal, especially right behind ESPN's College Game Day crew. So there are a lot of Hoosiers here, but there are also a lot of Buckeyes here defending their home turf in a top 5 matchup. So it should be something that is very exciting to look forward to.
Let's hop into the matchup a little bit. Indiana 10-0 for the first time in program history, coming off the second win versus Michigan since 1987, off the bye week and now into Columbus. Ohio State is 9-1 on the year, with the lone loss coming to Oregon, their biggest win of the year at Penn State. And they're pretty hot in this later part of the season, but this game will determine who is facing Oregon in the Big Ten Championship. A lot of factors in play, college football playoff factors at stake. What are the keys for Indiana and Ohio State, Brooks, to come out victorious in this one?
Well, I think for the Hoosiers, it's getting out to an early start. The Ohio State Buckeyes, they've struggled early in these games that they've played so far this year, only scoring multiple touchdowns in one game in the first quarter. So getting off to an early lead could prove to be very crucial for this Hoosiers team. I would also look to take advantage of the matchup as Seth McLaughlin, the Ohio State starting center, who's proved to be crucial. He was an Alabama transfer brought in this year to be one of the leaders for this team in Ryan Day. Suffered a season-ending Achilles injury on Wednesday. So his presence not being on the field could be felt by the Buckeyes, and the Indiana defensive line, they could definitely take advantage of that. They're one of the nation's best. So early pressure could prove to be crucial for the Hoosiers. For the Buckeyes, it's about proving their dominance. And I really have to say, this battle could go into the second half, but I think the most important quarters are these first 2 quarters for both teams to see who gets off to the hot start.
Good things come in twos, and that was certainly the case this past weekend in the NFL draft when Quinshon Judkins and TreVeyon Henderson went in back-to-back picks in the NFL draft. Now, first, it was Quinshon Judkins who was selected with the 36th pick in the NFL draft by the Cleveland Browns. And Judkins, who played just 1 year at Ohio State, made his impact. And right away, he rushed for over 1,000 yards for the 3rd straight season. Quinshon Judkins had no more impressive standout performance than the national championship game when he had 100 yards and 2 touchdowns, carrying the Buckeyes to their 9th outright national championship and 1st since 2014. Now, TreVeyon Henderson didn't have to wait long to hear his name picked, as just a couple picks later, he was selected by the New England Patriots with the 38th pick in the NFL draft. Now, TreVeyon Henderson spent all 4 years of his career at Ohio State, where he added over 4,000 yards and became Ohio State's 4th leading rusher of all time. Now, this Ohio State running back duo not only broke records in college, but also in the NFL, becoming the first running back duo since 2018 to be selected in the first top 2 rounds of the NFL draft. Good luck in their NFL careers, as they will be in high-powered offenses and be used not only to block, but also to score some points for some young, needy teams. Now back to you.